So, we are finally down here in Italy. We arrived a few days ago with some friends of ours, and we've rented a beautiful house very close to Ustuni, towards the north of Puglia.
Yeah, and we also have our kids with us, which is amazing. I
Yeah,
have to
we're
say.
very happy. So, we're going into a rest in the next couple of days, which we've told you about in the previous videos. We've had a very, very busy spring, darting back and forth between Italy and Sweden. And now we're here for a couple of months, and yeah,
Yeah, hopefully we get some rest done, anyways. What do
yeah,
you say? Yeah, we've been discussing the last few days about the balance between work and rest, and also the fact that we are kind of darting into something new with you guys, but also we have some other stuff that we need to finish, and we still have our kids that live at home with us, and we thought we'll talk a little bit about that and how that feels. So what do you say about that?
Oh, you want me to start? Well, it's been a challenge for us personally, obviously, trying to create a new life with YouTube as a source of income. But that takes time to build up a channel. We're not yet monetized, but we're hoping to be within a year. But learning the skills and getting there takes a lot of commitment and time. And at the same time, you can't let go of other sources of income, and the rest of your life kind of also continues. So I don't know. It's a daily quest to find some kind of balance. I don't even know if balance is achievable. Do you think it's a theory, or is well, what's balance to you?
I was thinking about it this morning, and I think that when you are the kind of person that I am, at least, like a project person, there's a tendency that the project just takes over, and it drives you, even though you set reasonable goals, and you try to find a pace that is kind of affordable.
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, but then it just takes hold of you and drives you kind of in front of itself. So it's really, really hard to push the brake and try to get out of that vehicle from time to time, to just get some perspective.
Mm.
I think also something that I think a lot about is leaving Sweden, where my life has been for the last 50 years. And obviously I haven't left it completely, but it also means leaving behind lots of friends, relationships, neighbors, work relations, and also our kids in a sense. I think that has been quite a struggle for me, and it made me lose balance a little bit in life, and also lose kind of the bearing of my life a little bit.
Mm.
I don't know how you feel about that, but
Well, I've I've emigrated to the UK before, and I lived there for 20 years, and then I've kind of immigrated back to Sweden. So in a way, I'm facing another kind of migration in that sense. So it's not new, but that makes it a little bit more complicated too. So I suppose my challenge is looking at it differently, because I studied, I had my first jobs and got into a career, had children. So it was very different moving to the UK, and now it's kind of building up another lifestyle. But I think that the biggest struggle when it comes to balance now is finding, okay, do we hit the gas pedal or do we hit the brakes with YouTube contra our incomes, you know, because we notice that we probably can't get monetized to make this channel really take off unless we commit fully. But that
Yeah.
means that you take away the focus and possibility of finding, for example, another interior design project, which has been carrying us for the past few months financially. And I find that I'm a little bit fearful of finding ourselves, you know, financially unsafe. Part of it, as we've discussed, is an illusion because we have assets that we can sell off, and we have been wise and saving up to be able to make this life change.
Yes.
But not having the cash flow is a bit scary to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest, I don't know, tummy ache is being away from the kids. They are 18, 19 and 20, so they're not small by any chance, you know, by any means, but they're just at the brink of stepping into life and
Adulthood and finding their first job and
yeah, and you know, choosing university educations or not, and
yes.
I find that I want to really be there for them and continue coaching them. Plus, we love hanging out with our kids. Actually, they're our favorite people to hang out with.
Yes, for sure.
And being away from them, I can tell that it's tough on them, and that makes it tough on me.
Yeah.
I think you're a bit tougher in that sense. You feel more confident that they'll be okay.
Yeah, in a way, I think it's more of a coping mechanism to just push it away a little bit, and because if you dive into that feeling, you kind of want to just drop everything and go home. But also I'm a man, which makes it different, I think.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you mean?
Yeah, but you know, I think men in general, it's a little bit more easy for us to let go of the kids. At least that's what I'm thinking, and that's kind of what I see in my friends. But there's it's a little bit easier for them to let the kids fly, and I think it's that might be in nature, or it might just be something that I'm imagining, but that's how I think about it anyways. And I think, you know, if you're there holding their hand all the time, they can't really fly. So
No, and we want them to.
yeah, I really want them to fly.
Say that's my greatest quest as a parent, is to make them strong, independent adults that will be flying and enjoying life as they embrace it, for sure. But yeah, it's just that so many things are happening for us now. They're at this age where they want to be kids, but they also want to be grown-ups. Yes. And you don't want to let go of them in there because you want them to take that step. Plus, we might, you know, go from the more comfortable, like everyday life with a job with more predictable hours in Sweden, to a freelance job with, you know, culture and language barriers.
Of course.
And yeah, just all the challenges with bureaucracy and what have you down here.
It's just a different culture. It's a lot different from where we usually play.
And life in this culture here is something I'm looking forward to massively.
Yes.
But embarking on this new build, that's a whole different ball game. I'm feeling less confident there, actually.
Yeah, I agree. So, to boil this down a little bit, it is the anxiety a little bit to leave the kids.
Mm.
It's the income, the friends, and there's also the excitement of the new project and what that is going to bring to life.
Mm.
And we are extremely grateful for all of these things, but we're also a bit scared that we get the balance off.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess we'll leave you at that, and have a nice week, and see you next week.
Have a good one. Thanks for joining.